welcome back to another episode of JD's Wildcat World. And let's go! What a win by the Kentucky Wildcats as they go on the road to take down Auburn in a absolutely huge game, huge victory. Auburn hadn't lost in their home gym in almost 2 years. The Cats come out and honestly dominate the game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. It felt like, the Cats really weren't in trouble at any point during that game. Auburn made a run coming out of halftime and cut it to like 3 at one point, but never took the lead. The Cats responded every time Auburn would make a run. We came down, scored a bucket, and then defended our butts off. Super proud of the defensive effort from the Cats to only give up 59 points to that Auburn team who is so explosive from every position. Is just incredible, especially the way up until this week we've struggled to defend. I think that problem might be solved. Gave up 63 points to Ole Miss, 59 to Auburn. So average this week, giving up 61 points a game. That's how you're going to win games with this team, with as elite we are offensively. Only scored 70, but only had to score 70. Only would have had to score 60 to win this one, as the Cats win 70-59. And, can't say enough good things about the team, about the game plan from the coaches. I want to give Coach Calipari a lot of credit for having the guys ready to play. Nobody thought we were winning this game. Nobody nationally. Clean sweep on College game day for Auburn to beat us. I, for the first time this season, predicted us a loss. However, I will put the caveat out there by saying I did say I would not be shocked if we won. Now the question is, do I pick us to lose every game so we'll win? Am I superstitious? Yes, I am. But I can't pick us to lose every game. But, the first time this season I did, because Auburn was so dominant at home. And that's what makes the magnitude of this win even bigger than any regular win. And now the Cats put themselves in a position, which I talked about last week. I said, if you can go steal one on the road at Auburn, you put yourself in position to still be fighting for the regular season SEC title. Now you just won your toughest game of the season. There's no reason why we couldn't go win out. Could we stumble Tuesday night against LSU? Yes. That's how college basketball is. But I'm just saying, huge win. You win the toughest game of the year, in my opinion. I think that, my eye on the schedule at the beginning of the season, Auburn was the toughest game of the season. So we'll see. I'm very excited, especially if we keep defending the way we are defending, folks. If we're giving up 60 points a game, I do not see a team beating us just with how elite we are offensively. Just super proud of the coaching staff, the players themselves. The players really had to lock in and get several key stops, and everybody did that. Having DJ Wagner back on the defensive side of the ball was so huge. Reed Sheppard did so much better. That's the number one thing that I recognized on the defensive side was our guards, mainly Reed Sheppard, stayed in front of the ball, played great on-ball defense for the first time that I can remember seeing this year. That's really what we had struggled with our guards. They would let people get to the rim at will. That did not happen tonight. Just very good on-ball defense. Not as many disciplinary issues where we would leave. The one time we played zone, Reed took a risk, ended up burning us. But other than that, that's really the only one that jumps out to me as we undisciplined on the defensive side of the ball. We did really good things. Like I said, this is going to be a celebratory episode, the big win against Auburn. And I know BBN is excited. This is the most pumped up I've seen the fan base since the Big Z game. And that episode, of course, was my most listened to. So I love when BBN is pumped up. It's so much better than when we're down. Man, you can't be down after a night like tonight. If you are just a miserable person. Because I've got the people that aren't fans of Cal even messaging me saying that they are super happy with this win. So, big time win. Like I said, nobody expected it, but here we are. This team don't care what people expect. They're here to win games. They're here to win at an alarming rate, and I think we've got a very good chance to do that to close out the season. Now you are sitting at 8-4 in the SEC standings, only a game and a half behind Bama, and we get Bama at home. Should win that game. So let's see how this works out. Hopefully Trey Mitchell won't be out for too much longer. Hopefully we get him back Tuesday. That would be big. He cracked me up on the bench tonight. I love them showing him and then waving to the Auburn crowd, man. I swear, no other fan base in college basketball talks more crap and has done less than Auburn. Just absolutely. You could tell this was their Super Bowl. Students packed out the place, packed 5 days in advance, and we send them home with an L, and it was so sweet. So I saw a sign at College Game Day saying that Auburn had replaced Kentucky as a blue blood. Well, here's your piece of humble pie, Auburn. You're not it. You're not going to be it. You all are better with Bruce Pearl, but you're still not on our level. I think they forget we just beat them by 32 points last year in our building. So, heck of a performance. The Auburn fan trash talk should die down a little here since this is the only time we play them in a regular season. Can't say enough. We held them to – Cats held them for 18% shooting from the three-point line. That's your biggest key. 4 of 22. And a couple of them were wide open that they missed, but, a lot of them were contested. Just very solid defense in the half court, which we haven't seen from this team this year. They brought that out, and the game was never in question. 17 of 55 from the field is what Auburn shot, 31%. You're going to win a lot of games if you hold teams like Auburn to that shooting percentage. We shot 44%, 24 of 54 from the field. Only took 13 threes, which is shocking. I thought we'd have to have several threes to win this one. Only hit 4 and still won by double digits. So, I'll take it. Antonio Reeves led the way. He was my pick for MVP. And, of course, on the road, you knew he was going to come alive. There in the second half, running the floppy action ball screens to him pretty much sealed the game. He got to pick off what screen he came off of. And I thought a huge play late in the second half. Auburn was, not making a huge run, but they were trying to make it a close game, combined with the refs trying to make it a close game at the end there, calling every little thing. Reeves runs off a screen. Both Auburn defenders go with him, and Adu slips the screen right to the basket for a dunk. Pretty much sealed it. That was a huge play. Reed Shepherd made that play with the little no-look pass there to Adu, and then, of course, he finished it off. And since I'm talking about Adu Thiero, let me go ahead and get my play of the game out of the way. Oh, my gosh. I think Adu ended a man's career tonight. That lob pass from Reeves to Adu, the one-handed slam on Adu's head. Oh, my gosh. Got me up out of my seat for the first time in a while. Luckily, I didn't pull a muscle, but jumped up out of my chair and, absolutely awesome play. Potentially play of the year, to be honest with you, man. That super athletic, just a overall super job, and that was a play that really changed the momentum. Adu was super hype all game. He's going to give you what he can, and he's going to give you max effort the whole time he's in the game. And, that's just proven again tonight. He grabs every board that comes his way. Even if it don't come his way, he's going to try to grab it. So, very good job from him. He had 14 points and 8 boards. Man, I didn't realize he scored that much. 14 for Adu Thiero. If you get that out of him every game, watch out, rest of the nation. I think they should get a wake-up call now with this performance. When you allow a team like Auburn that just scored 101 points on South Carolina to 59. I'm not, I feel like I'm overstating it, but I'm really not. That is an incredible defensive performance in their home gym to hold them to 4 of 22 shooting, to out-rebound them by 3. Great performance. I want to say, I just saw one of the videos from the team, the post-game celebration in the locker room, and they poured water on assistant coach John Welch. And my guess is that he had a big role in this Auburn game. If I had to guess, that's totally speculation. But if I had to guess, I would say he scouted them and delivered the game plan and did a phenomenal job. I'm sure Cal had part in that too, and Coach Antigua, the whole staff. But, you could just tell the players were really happy for Coach Welch. And I think he's been a huge improvement to this staff with him and his offensive game planning. It's just taken on another level. So shout out to him, shout out to the staff to get these kids back rolling the way that BBN knows that they can. And, the coaching staff's never quit believing. They knew what they had. And I never have either. You all know my opinions, but I'm going to give them because this is my podcast and that's what I do. This is a statement. We're back win, in my opinion. I think that, it's just, that's what it is. Nobody believed in this team. Nobody, at least in this game. Nobody in the national media, like I said, they swept College game day with everybody picking Auburn. And the Cats knew that. I heard them in the postgame. I think Reeves talked to Goose Givens on the postgame and said that they knew nobody picked them. And that fueled them. And how could it not? How could it not fuel them? So shout out to the guys for doing a great job all around, the coaching staff, the players. And now the preseason or mid-season bracket came out today. And the Cats weren't in the top 16. They were projected a 6 or a 7 seed as of now. But that win tonight, I think you move up a seed line, to be honest with you. I think that's a huge win. I don't know what Auburn is in the net. But it's definitely a quad one, and Auburn was in the top 16 this week, or this morning for the midseason bracket reveal. So, I'm ecstatic. I can't believe I wasn't planning on a post-game show because, quite frankly, I didn't expect to win. But here we are. I'm not complaining at all. Now let's go take care of business and finish out the season strong. I'm going to go over a couple things in the box score here. Like I said, Antonio Reeves, 22 points, 5 rebounds. He continues to rebound the ball really, really well. I think he had 7 last game, 5 this game. That's huge with Trey being out. And like I said, Adu Thiero, man, 14-8. You can make a case for him to be your MVP. I personally think it was Reeves, probably because I picked him to be my MVP. But I could see the case for Thiero. An amazing game. Ugo, once again, didn't hurt us on offense. Played really solid defense. 7 points, 11 rebounds on 3 of 3 from the field, and he played 36 minutes. He was in there most of the time because, Bradshaw and Big Z were just unplayable this game, honestly, on the defensive side. That wasn't their game. Rob Dillingham, 11 points, 3 assists and 2 boards on 4 of 9 shooting. He heated up there in the first half, kind of cooled off in the second. But Reed Shepherd only had 4 points. But, man, I want to say, it's the same old with Reed, man. He could have no points or he could have 25, and he's still going to have a huge impact on the game. The kid is just so smart when he plays, does the good things. And like I said, with his on-ball defense improving the way it did tonight, you can play him as much as you need to. The only issue I had with him playing a lot up until this last week was his on-ball defense. That if he plays it like he did tonight and against Ole Miss, he doesn't need to come off the floor. And that's just how it is. Antonio Reeves the same way. He played good defense. And like I said at the beginning, I don't want to overstate the importance of DJ Wagner. We missed his on-ball defense while he was gone. He's done good since he's been back. Offensively struggled tonight, but really did good at the free throw line. He had 8 points, and I think 6, and I think he went 6 of 6 from the line, which is huge. Only shot 1 of 6 from the field, but we didn't need it. That's the amazing thing about this team, folks. You you can have players have off nights because we've got so many different guys that can hurt you. And tonight we did that. I thought a big point in the game, and, all game long until he got hurt, shutting down Jalen Williams was number one. If you did that in the scouting report against Auburn, you're more than likely going to win the game. I thought he would have a massive game. And he did get hurt in the second half. That did not look like a good injury at all, man. That looked pretty bad. But while he was in there, he still played 24 minutes and went 1 of 5 from the field. That is amazing to hold him to that. He has went off the last couple games. Janai Broome had 14. He led them in scoring. He was there last year, had 14 points, 11 boards, but 0 of 3 from behind the line and held him to 5 of 13 from down low. The only shots he seemed to hit was when he would get position on Ugo and kind of push Ugo back down the under the goal, and he would bank it in. But you're not going to hear me complain. That's nitpicky stuff. The Cats moved to 18-7, 8-4 in the SEC. And, like I said, right there, South Carolina loses another game today against LSU. We beat Auburn. Folks, we're 2 games behind first place, and we still get Alabama at home. That's the point I want to make. We're only a half game back from the double bye. Everybody's saying, oh, we're playing on Thursday. You hear that? I've heard that for weeks now. Oh, you need to get in your head. We're playing on Thursday in the SEC tournament. I feel like I'm the one podcast, the one source of media for Kentucky basketball, and I listen to a lot of them. I feel like I'm the only one that said, I think we're still getting a double bye. And the reasoning I had, it wasn't necessarily, we would have to win some games, obviously, but the reasoning I had is everyone is beating everyone in the SEC. South Carolina goes and drops one to LSU at home today. Auburn drops one at home to us. Florida almost gets beat by Georgia. A&M goes and drops one today to Bama. We get Bama at home. We still play Tennessee on the road. Of course, both of those are going to be tough games. But if you win both of those, if you win out, you have still got a chance to not only get the double bye, but you've got a chance to win the regular season. Bama has a tough schedule left. Bama still has to come to us, still has to go to Ole Miss, still has to play Tennessee at home, still has to go to Florida. That's just one example. Tennessee, I think, has the toughest schedule remaining. They had an easy game today. They've got the next 2 they should win, but then they get Auburn at home, at Alabama, at South Carolina, and then they got to play us. Of course, we have the tiebreaker on Auburn now. South Carolina has a gauntlet to end the season, and I think Florida, even if their schedule isn't hard, which they still have to go to Alabama, but even if their schedule ain't hard, I think they're going to drop one. Maybe even 2. They play Alabama twice and have to play, I think it's Tennessee. Let me see. Oh, at South Carolina. So, if you take care of business, if you win, I think you get the double bye regardless. But you're going to have some help, and I think we do get that help. I'm still of the camp, just like it didn't switch with the 3 straight home losses. I still think we get the double bye. I'm kind of reluctant to say we win the SEC regular season just because you're 2 games behind Bama, but they could drop 1 too, and they play us. So the SEC schedule and the standings are right here for the taking. We've done a good job since the losses. We bounced back with 2 big wins this week, and now we're cooking. Let's keep cooking. We play Wednesday night. The Cats go at LSU at 9 o'clock on a Wednesday. Man, you go from primetime college game day, 6 o'clock on ESPN on a Saturday, to a 9 o'clock Wednesday game in Baton Rouge. Now that, folks, is a trap game because next Saturday you get Alabama at home. LSU, man, this is just going to be one of those, oh my gosh, we've got to take care of business. It's likely to be ugly. I'll say that now. But we've got to win it. LSU, of course, had a big win today on the road at South Carolina. That's a huge win. I watched LSU last weekend play against Bama at their place, and they held Bama most of the game. Bama ended up pulling away at the end. But there was a large chunk of that game where LSU kept Bama within reach. So the Tigers come in 13-12. At their place, like I said, Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, just makes me go, ugh, like gives you that ugh feeling. But they lost to Florida by 2 on the road, beat South Carolina by 1, lost to Bama by 17, lost to Tennessee by 20. Of course, this should be a win. So let's go take care of business. I'm not really going to sit here and critique the LSU game other than to say they are led by Jordan Wright, the Vandy transfer who cooked us last year when he played for Vandy. Obviously got to shut him down. Damian Collins transferred to LSU. He played for the Cats last year. He doesn't play all that much. Might get some run against us. I'm not really sure. They're led in scoring by Jalen Cook, who averages 15.6 points a game. Junior guard who's 6 foot and can shoot it from 3, shooting 38% from deep. Let's just go and win, baby. Just win, baby. That's all you got to say. Just win, baby. But I do like the Cats to beat LSU by 8 points by a score of 82-74. Like I said, I think it'll be just a meh game. I don't think anything too exciting or too bland, but I think it'll be just another game. But I wanted to give that quick preview of LSU. MVP, I want to go with Duthiero. He played so good tonight. I think he continues on with his dominant performance, and the Cats get a big road win, and then we're here to break down Saturday's game against Alabama, which is an absolute huge one. That's 2 straight Saturdays with huge games. So hopefully we can win that one too. But I wanted to go ahead and get this episode out there because the big post-game episodes, they seem to be what you all love, and I appreciate every one of you all listening. There's really, I could go on and on all night long, but the point is, the Cats, we got the fan base back now. This team has got the fan base on the same page. Now let's stay on it for the end of the year. If we were to go and lose Tuesday, let's not jump off. It would be a bad loss, but let's not jump off this ship. I don't think there's any reason to. I think that would be an overreaction. I think it was an overreaction before, but there were also questions that needed to be asked, things that needed to be fixed. And folks, these last 2 games, I'm seeing things that they have done. They've addressed the concerns. They've addressed all the concerns I've had. I mainly focused, after that Gonzaga game, you all can go back and listen. My main problem was defense. We can score with the best of them, but we can't outscore everybody. That was my point that I made. The last 2 games, we've gave up an average of 61 points a game. We've got to keep that up. But if we keep that up, you've got a team that can make a deep run in March. And that's just how it is. Like I said, and if we go beat LSU and we lose to Bama at home on Saturday, we're not jumping off. At least I'm not. And I hope you all don't either. I love this fan base when we're all on the same page, when we're all clicking, when BBN is behind one another, when they're behind this team. It doesn't get any better. It just doesn't. We're the best fans in the country when we're all on the same page. But when we get toxic, it gets a little bit overwhelming. I feel bad for the guys that have to do it on a much bigger stage than what I'm doing it on, because ever since I've started this with the listenership I have, I'm still getting bombarded with the negative messages, etc., when we lose. But on the flip side of that, getting a crap ton of positive messages, ton of phone calls. Shout out to everybody on my call list after a big win. You all are the best. And thank you all for interacting with me during the games, especially on a big night like tonight where we go and grab a huge win. I want to say to the national media, y'all better turn it up. Y'all want to make a big deal of the Cats losing 3 straight at home, then y'all better turn it up now that we've won 2 in a row, including one at a place where nobody had even come close to beating Auburn for almost 2 years. Every game this season, I'll give you all a stat, and you all have probably heard this, but if you haven't, I'm going to give it to you right now. Auburn, not only had they not lost at home this year, they had won every game at home by double digits, by 10 points or more. And the Cats go and beat Auburn by double digits. With arguably the best crowd they've had all year. No, it's not arguably. This was Auburn's Super Bowl. Students camped out for days. Saw lines 5 days ago. After their midweek game, they beat South Carolina. Students immediately flipped it around, set up tents, camped out just to be sent home with an L. So, I love it because, like I said at the beginning, Auburn fans seem to talk more trash than any fan base that has done nothing. And they get a little taste of relevance these last couple of years with Bruce Pearl. And they're on top of the world. But we shrunk them back down to size tonight. Shout out to Coach Cal and this staff. I want to thank the team for bringing joy back into BBN's homes. It's always been in mine. But, the losing at home kind of got old. But, still sticking with this team 100%. And super happy with the performance tonight. And one more. Let's go, Cats! Sorry, just had to get that out because I've done a lot of screaming tonight. My voice is probably off a little bit because when Adu Thiero threw down that dunk, I thought the house was going to come down, to be honest with you. I jumped up off the couch and almost twisted my ankle. And just had an all-around good time. That game was fun. That's straight up, felt like we led the whole game. And there at the end when we put it away and Auburn quit fouling, I think I jumped up and down for 5 minutes straight. Roadkill. Auburn was our roadkill tonight. Let's keep the train going. 2 dubs in a row. Let's keep picking it up. The Cats are back at it Wednesday at 9 o'clock on ESPN. And BBN, tune in. And, the 9 o'clock games don't get as much interaction. The Ole Miss game was down, like I said, as far as people talking to me. But is this our last 9 o'clock game? No, we got one more. Oh, gosh. Vandy at home at 9 o'clock. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the 7 o'clock weekday games just because it feels like more people watch and interact. And the team, I'm sure, would rather have a 7 o'clock game, too. Having to wait all day until 9 o'clock to play is so long, man. Even as a fan, I couldn't imagine as a player having to get there and wait until 9 o'clock at night to play. But the good thing is, I don't think LSU is going to have that big of a crowd. I'm looking right now, there's tickets as low as $4 for this game at Pete Maravich Assembly Center. That's wild. With Kentucky coming to town. Every gym is rock. Well, you all saw it tonight. Auburn was packed to the brim. You couldn't get in. I was looking at ticket prices for the Auburn game today. You couldn't get in that place for less than $300. So seeing a $4 ticket is quite crazy, to be honest with you. But I think the Cats should win it. Does that mean they will? No. But they should. LSU. I think there's, a lot less talented than us, but I want to touch on another guy too. I don't remember which one it was. Will Baker. This is a guy I watched against Alabama last Saturday that absolutely went off. Let's see here. He had 24 against Bama, 16 against Florida, 16 against Tennessee, and 25 against Arkansas. Only had 2 today against South Carolina for some reason, but that's a guy we got to watch out for, especially if Trey's out again. He's a very skilled big man who can step out and hit a 3. They play through him a lot in the tape I've watched. I wanted to touch on him before we got out of here, but let's take the time and celebrate this dub. Like I said, BBN is happy. I'm happy. The Cats are happy. I love seeing the videos in the locker room of them celebrating. It's a good night in Big Blue Nation. Thank you all for listening. As always, we're available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and for my fellow NASCAR fans, the Daytona 500 is tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. So this is just going to be a great weekend. You got NBA All-Star Weekend happening right now. The dunk contest is going on. Homie Jaquez Jr. just dunked over Shaq. I'm pretty sure Jacob Toppin is supposed to be in here. The three-point contest was good. So, yeah, there's Toppin right there. So, go watch that if you're listening to this as soon as I put it out. And then the All-Star game tomorrow night. So, Cal will be there. He said in his presser he was going whether we won or lost tonight. So, good for Cal. Hope he gets to go and enjoy the night with one extra day off. It's usually Saturday, Tuesday. This week, Saturday, Wednesday, and it's late Wednesday night. So, let's get back with it. Get back in the gym. Get to work. Nice off day tomorrow for the Cats. Get back at it Monday and go take care of business in Baton Rouge and beat the LSU Tigers. As always, it's Go Cats, and great dub. We proved a point, made a statement to the nation, and let's see on Monday where we rise up to in the AP rankings. I think we jumped a seed line. Like I said, the CBS bracket show, we weren't in the top 16, so we weren't a 4 seed or higher, but I would guess we were in the 6-7 range. Now I think you're more in the 5-6 range. If you went out, I think you're looking at possibly a 3 or 4. So we'll see. But we still got a long way to go. Starting next week, I will start breaking down each bracket projections for us. I don't think they'll be accurate if I were to do that on this episode because they haven't factored in this win yet. But just for outlook, none of these bracketologists are always correct. The committee is the one who ultimately decides, but it's fun. It's a fun talking point. I enjoy looking at the brackets as Lenardi puts them out, as CBS puts them out, as other sites put them out. So we'll go over those next week to see where we're looking at. But a overall huge win for the fan base needed this. The Cats as a team needed this, and Coach Cal needed it too. So go Cats, and thank you all for listening.